Hello everyone and welcome to the Week 13 edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial calls of the weekend. I'm Simon Borg. We start at BMO Field, where visiting San Jose Earthquakes got a penalty call in the 23rd minute when Ashton Morgan stretched out both arms and ultimately deflected this Chris Wondolowski header. Referee Fotis Bazakos points to the spot, and it's a no-brainer. Wondolowski steps up to make it 1-1. About 10 minutes later, Toronto would take the lead for good on this Warren Creval goal, but did Sebastian Giovinco foul San Jose's Sana Nayasi just before the ball gets to Creval? This angle looks like he got him, but Bazakos, who's right there, says play on, and Toronto score. Giovinco had another big game for TFC, but was he fishing for a penalty 1 minute into the second half? In my opinion, he goes down way too easily on this contact from Marvel Wynn. Bazakos was right there and looks away. No cards for simulation. Before we move on, do you remember when Victor Bernardes got sent off earlier this year for this wayward kick which struck Michael Azir in Seattle? Well, this play in the 42nd minute at BMO looked similar, and it left Justin Morrow on the ground for a while. No call from the referee, who deemed it incidental. To Sporting Park, where the home team ran out 4-0 winners over FC Dallas, but their first goal by Christian Nemeth in the 19th minute was suspect to me. When we look at the freeze frame, Nemeth appears to be offside on the header by Kevin Ellis, but assistant Dan Thornberry, who's trailing the play slightly, doesn't flag it. Thornberry is the same official you saw get hit by the ball in the 59th minute. I mean, refs have to have eyes in the back of their heads these days. Sporting KC piled it on in the second half with 3 more goals, and they did it against 10-man FC Dallas after Zach Lloyd was shown a second yellow in the 43rd minute. No argument from me. Hey, who knows if FC Dallas could have been down a man even earlier? Looks to me like forward Blas Perez gets in a gratuitous stomp on Sporting's Roger Espinoza after just 7 minutes. To Seattle, where the Red Bulls felt they should have had a penalty in the second half, which would have probably iced the match. Already up 1-0, the Red Bulls saw their frontman, Bradley Wright Phillips, get absolutely crushed by this Brad Evans tackle in the box in the 54th minute. Does Evans get the ball? Yeah, but he goes through Bradley Wright Phillips to do it. That's a penalty to me, but referee Jose Carlos Rivero doesn't call it. Now the Red Bulls open the scoring in the 36th minute through Lloyd Sam, but on this freeze frame, it looks to me like he's offside by the slightest of margins. Assistant Brian Dunn doesn't flag it. Next, to Toyota Park, where I thought there could have been an early red, like in the 2nd minute. To me, this Nigel Rio-Coker tackle on David Accam endangers the safety of his opponent. Accam's lucky his right leg wasn't planted. Rio-Coker gets by with just a yellow. A Montreal Impact player was eventually red-carded in this one. Marco Donadel with 2 yellow card fouls in the span of 15 minutes of the first half. No doubt about either of them. Good eye by referee Alan Chapman, and Montreal spend over 50 minutes down a man. They lose 3-0. One of those 3 goals came on a penalty, and this one is also cut and dry. Bakary Somare slides in for the tackle and doesn't get the ball, taking down David Accam in the process. Chapman points to the spot, and Jeff Lorenowitz converts. But the best part of the play might just be Somare's reaction to the call. Freeze frame it right here! A few penalty kick shots to look at in Vancouver. First, in the 13th minute, did Kyle Beckerman bring down Christian Teixeira in the box? When we slow it down, it does look to me like Beckerman's left leg clips Teixeira's right leg from behind. Referee Jair Marufo says play on. But Pedro Morales looks to go down way too easy in the 30th minute on this tackle in the box from Elias Vasquez. Marufo doesn't call it, and the Caps don't even protest. But I think they had a case in the 76th minute. Look at how Vasquez pushes Octavio Rivero just as he's waiting for the ball to come down. That was a penalty to me. Next to Dick's Sporting Goods Park, and this tackle by Colorado's James Riley just seconds after the break. He goes in 2-footed and studs up on Darlington Nagbe and gets a yellow for it from referee Ismail Elfaf. But I thought it should have been red for endangering the safety. Another potential red card, I thought it could have been shown to Sam Cronin in the final minute of the first half for this tackle on Jack Jewsbury. There could have been some serious damage done to that right leg, but Cronin only gets a yellow. He stayed in the game and ultimately scored this AT&T Goal of the Week candidate. We're not done. Caleb Porter was asking for a red card on Drew Moore for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity after taking down Fernando Adi, who was heading in on goal in stoppage time. But Adi got back up, advantage was given, and he took the attempt, so it's technically no longer a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. No way you can show a red there. And now 2 penalty claims to look at. In the first half, the Rapids wanted a PK called for an alleged takedown in the box by Jorge Villafaña on Drew Moore in the 21st minute. But it's impossible to tell from the footage we have. No whistle from referee Ismail Elfaf. And then in the 82nd minute, James Riley blocks this Rodney Wallace shot on the ground with his arm. I thought that should have been a penalty for the Timbers, but Elfaf doesn't call it. It finished 1-1 at Yankee Stadium between New York City FC and the Houston Dynamo, and the NYCFC goal came via PK. Raul Rodriguez with the obvious handball, sticking that right arm up there and deflecting the ball. Easy call for Soren Stoica, and an easy finish for David Villa. And props to Stoica for not showing a second yellow to Chris Winger after he stopped Oscar Bonia Garcia here. There were some who were calling for a caution there 4 minutes after his first, but I don't think there was a tactical foul there to stop a counter. Looked to me like Winger tried to win the ball and he missed. To the Citrus Bowl, where the big call was the red card shown for denial of a goal by Michael Parkhurst after just 15 minutes. Referee Silvio Petrescu whistled the handball on the goal line, and the immediate argument was that Parkhurst had his arm tucked in all the way. There's no way he could have done anything about that. But after watching the replay a few times, yeah, his arm is tucked in, but he's moving the tucked-in arm toward the ball, and that makes it deliberate, especially given where Petrescu was positioned. That's a great call by the big man, and Orlando City tie the game through Kaká, and the latest word is that Crew SC will not be appealing the red card. Nearly 15 minutes later, Orlando wanted another PK, but Carlos Rivas goes down way too easy on this challenge by Emmanuel Pogatets. Rivas really wanted that call. And then these two came together again in first half stoppage time, but again Rivas goes down easy, and this time he gets a yellow for simulation. But here's the other PK I thought Orlando should have had. Stoppage time, and Kai Kamara has his arm flailing and deflects the shot in the box. That would have been some dramatic stuff, but Petrescu doesn't call it. Last one to look at from the Citrus Bowl, and we rewind to the 12th minute. The referee has clearly blown the whistle, but Orlando right back Rafael Ramos slams the ball into Justin Miram. Listen to it for yourself here.
Is marked closely by Higuain. Comes to the near side.
Totally uncalled for, and the referee could have shown a red card there for violent conduct, and I wouldn't have had any problem with it. But the ref doesn't pull any cards out in this case. And we end at RFK Stadium, where Davy Arnaud goes down in the box early in the match, and he really wanted the penalty there, but had a foul been called, the push actually happened outside the box. No foul called. To the 63rd minute, the score is tied 1-1, and Chris Pontius, a forward, tracks back and brings down Sebastian Letou, who's charging toward goal. I thought that was denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, punishable by a red card. But referee Ted Uncle doesn't see it that way and graces Pontius with a yellow, in my opinion. Letou can't believe it. The most controversial moment of the match, however, came 1 minute before. You see DC's Chris Rolfe is clipped by Vincent Nogueira, but on the follow-through, there's a clear kick-out by Rolfe in retaliation. Nogueira got a yellow for the original foul, but I thought Rolfe deserved red for the kick. Uncle didn't punish Rolfe for it, and he was on the field to convert the penalty kick that DC earned in the 84th minute. Zach Pfeffer with the clear handball in the area, and Rolfe gives DC the lead and the win with 6 minutes left. Now, DC supporters would say that the Union probably also deserved to have a player sent off, namely Shane Williams, for what happened on this play with Perry Kitchen in the 88th minute. But this isn't even a tackle by Williams. Kitchen's hand gets Williams in the face, and he just falls backward. I don't think you can really show a card for that one. Tell us what you think in the comment section below, and thank you again to all of you who help us spotting plays using the Instant Replay hashtag on Twitter. For our editor, Abner Sevis, I'm Simon Borg. See you next time!